Hello, 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 and welcome to our second of the two private trainings for the Science of Getting Rich. Excited that you're here. Today we are going to be talking about the fallacies of people that get rich, which is discussed in the book. We'll talk about the book again. If you weren't here last time, there is a replay. You can watch that. We're going to go over the two questions I asked you to look at. We're going to go over those things, and we're going to go through this section in the book that I think is really important because it's about reflection and it's about assessment. So it's great to see you, everyone. Really good to see you. So we will probably be, who knows how long we'll be. Well, it will be a little bit shorter. Last time we were a little over an hour. I don't want to keep you that long. And then just to let you know, at the end of tonight, after we do our training, I'm going to tell you some more about Rocktober and I told you we're doing a whole course. I've broken down the book. I've got worksheets. We've got all these exercises about the book because we love the book so much. I'll talk about the book in a second. So I will tell you about how you can get in on that class. And that the reason that I'm doing this for all of you, and I'll talk about this later, is that I want you all to know about the class first because you're my favorite yummy people. You're my favorite yummy people. And I like working with favorite yummy people. I'll tell you about that. That's starting next Wednesday night. Starts next Wednesday night, but I'll tell you more about that. Okay? All right. So let me unmute you, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. I want everyone to say hello. Wait, where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there. There. Wait. Oh, wait. How do I? Oh, wait. Oh, there. Okay. All right. I'm going to unmute you all for a moment. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you, everyone. We're unmuted. And just so you know, if you're new to Zoom, I think most people know Zoom very well. You can mute and unmute yourself. So there'll be times where I'm going to mute you all. Sometimes we're going to have you all unmuted, or I'll individually call on you. Capiche?
Capiche.
Capiche. Capiche. Who wants to hear the story about why I say capiche? Who wants to hear that story?
Sure.
I'm going to tell you anyway.
Like we have a choice.
You have a choice. So as some of you know, I used to work with kids. I was an early childhood specialist, and I used to work with kids, and we used to do interactive drama. And so the dramas were really fun. So we used drama to teach kids, and it was great. So I was what was called an actor teacher. So I was acting and I was teaching. It took 2 actor teachers to do the stories that we would do. And since it was very, very little kids, we had a lot of really fun characters and fun storylines that we would do. We would all be, the cranes in Japan, or we'd be the elves in Ireland, or it was really fun. And we used to do a lot of different characters. And so at one point, I was a character called Pizza Pete from Italy. Pizza Pete from Italy. I would have all the kids circle around and we'd make pizza together, imaginary pizza, and it was really fun. They loved it. And so every time, you know how I always say yes if? You know how I say that? You know how I say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you gotcha. So with the kids, as Pizza Pete, I would say capiche, capiche. It's like understand, and they would all say capiche. So sometimes I just fall right back into Pizza Pete. So it's pretty fun. So that's why I say it. It's all about interaction, because I believe interaction is the way to learn. And you know what? There's no difference between you and 4-year-old. Because isn't it true? If you just sit in a class and you're sitting back and someone starts going wah 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 wah, and then they become the Peanuts parents, teachers, and you go away. So that's why I'm so interactive. So, capiche? Capiche. Okay. All right, everybody. So before we start, we like to focus. We like to get our energy in the right place to be open to learning. Okay, everyone? So let us say a little prayer and a little focus. So let's close our eyes. Let's take a big, deep breath. Dear Mother, Father, God, Divine Source, Universe, all that is. We come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love and support and guidance for everyone here. And we ask that the information that is exchanged today help us to raise ourselves to our true potential, our true beingness, and to our true selves. We ask that all the words that are related today, all the ideas that are shared, are blessed with love, compassion, forgiveness, and abundance. And we ask that as we share today, that the world becomes a little bit of a brighter place. We ask that the world is a little relieved of suffering, a little relieved of tragedy, and that we know that we can truly be the light of the world for everyone. We take a big deep breath. And together we say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, everyone. So, hi, Carol. Okay, so if you, I'm just going to say this, if you have a lot of background noise, you can mute yourself. If not, then all good. Okay, so let me just tell you we're about the book, The Science of Getting Rich. And I want to kind of recap just a little bit, of, not recap, but we're going to go over those questions we talked about last time. And we're going to, I want to talk about The Science of Getting Rich. I put this copy, hi Raymond, I put this copy in the groups. So you should have this copy. This is the one I'm working off of. You know, you can all have different copies, but if I go, oh, page 35 or whatever, it's going to be kind of hard. There's a million different copies of the book, and this is just a free copy that I got years ago. I've got a lot of different copies. So as you can see, it is all highlighted, and it's all notated. So The Science of Getting Rich is a book that has been around for a very long time. It has really stood the test of time. Wallace Wattles has turned out to be somebody that is has been really incredibly influential in the metaphysical world. And if anyone ever saw The Secret, did anyone see The Secret here?
Yeah.
Secret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. So if you saw The Secret, you know that Rhonda Byrne, who created The Secret, she talks about how this book was one of her very first inspirations to understanding the law of attraction. So this book is very controversial in many ways, which I said last time we were here. Go on to any website and you see reviews, you'll see people going, "This is bull," this is or this is like, well, it's interesting, but who cares? Other people say, you know, it's not scientific, and how dare he say it's the science of getting rich? But then there's other people saying this book has changed my life. This book has made me see a lot of things that they've been looking at in a very different way. And everything is about perception and about how you think, right? It's about how you think, about how you...
There's a lot of background noise, sweetie. I'm just letting you know. Somebody's moving around or eating, and it keeps going in and out.
Here, let me just mute everyone until I finish. You are muted. Okay. All right. Thank you for saying that, Allison. So this book is something that I've been working with for a very long time. I tell most of my private clients especially, read the book, look at this line. There's a lot of nuggets in the book, a lot of incredible things that make you go, oh yeah, that's true. And like I said last time, you know, I am a student and a teacher of A Course in Miracles for now 34 years. So I always kind of think about this as being kind of a mini Course in Miracles. It's not exactly, because there's definitely more in the Course in Miracles, but there's a lot of the concepts in here are directly relatable to A Course in Miracles. So it's a good place to get started if you're, especially if you're doing A Course in Miracles, and people here, a lot of you here are doing A Course in Miracles with me. You'll go, oh my God, that's just like the Course in Miracles. Oh, that's like the Course in Miracles. That's like the Course in Miracles. So, so that's one of the reasons why it resonates with me. And what else was I going to say about it? All I have to say is that, you know, this version is 56 pages. So this is not like, you know, the Course in Miracles is that thick, and it takes, you know, it's a study. It's a study. This is a study as well, but this is a study that you could read in the afternoon. You could just read it in the afternoon and highlight the crap out of it. And so there's a lot in this book, but my intention tonight is to just, we're gonna just delve into a couple questions he kind of asked about the fallacies of why people get rich, because we have a lot of fallacies of why we think people get rich. And a lot of that times those are blown out of the water. So we're gonna talk about that today. Last week, we talked about competition. We talked about this idea of competition that he brought up. So I am actually gonna unmute you for a second. Unmute you. Oh, hold on a second. If you have a lot of background noise, you can mute yourself. Okay, you're unmuted. Okay, so last week, if you were here, most of you, I think, were here actually. Marguerite wasn't, Iris, but, what, okay, hold on, something's going on. Oh, there's feedback. Okay, so I'm muting you. I can't listen to myself. It's like, Polly want a cracker? Okay. Raise your hand if you were able to access the video from last week. Some people have. Okay. Well, it's there, and I just looked, and there has been 47 views of it, so somebody watched it. So someone watched it. I didn't. So last week we talked about competition, and he says that really what we want to do is we need to not compete. We need to do the other C word, and not the one you're thinking, the other C word. Raise your hand if you know what the other C word is. Okay, let's go to Allison. What is it?
Create.
Create. Thank you very much. So creation is really the way to really get rich, because he talks all about how we're creating. We don't need to compete with anything else, because we can put our thoughts onto formless substance and create anything that we want to. Anything that we want to, right? Nod your head if you get it. Good, okay. All right, I see that there's, Beth is trying to pump hearts. Okay. We're not on a chapter yet. We're Callie, I'm just recapping. So we talked about that last time, which led into two questions I wanted you to consider, and I wanted you to look at and answer. Nod your head if you were able to answer some of those questions. Good, very good. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple of things, because this is really about what our mindset is. And that term mindset is too overused. I don't even like to use it, but it's about what we're thinking and what we're focusing on, and it's very important to see what we're focusing on in our life is dependent on what our past experience is, because our past experience says this is reality and this isn't reality. So you're focusing in a certain way. What we're going to try to do is try to break open that perception, and so you can focus in a whole new way. Capiche? Capiche? Okay, let me unmute you for a second. Let's see. Hello. If you have a lot of background noise, you can mute yourself. Who has background noise?
It was me, Sarah. I'm muting it now.
Oh, it's okay, Sarah. It's okay,
My
Sarah.
kids are talking to me. They're going to bed.
Okay, mute yourself, because I'd like to hear everyone. Okay, so the first question that we asked was, where in your life do you have a belief in lack? And I gave you a few ideas. Finances, a lack of finances, lack of ideas, lack of education, lack of self-confidence, lack of compassion, lack of love. Those were some ideas that I had. So I'd like to hear from two people what they came up with that when they really looked at it, and if it was a surprise to them or not. When you really look at it and you ask yourself, wait a second, where do I believe in lack? In what area of my life? Who would like to share first?
Okay, I will.
Who is that?
That's Beth. It's me. Hi.
Who?
Beth.
Oh, Beth. Go ahead, Beth.
Yeah, you remember me.
I do, but you're not on video, so it's hard for me to be like, what?
I'm still not ready. Okay,
Don't worry.
Finances, youth. Really let that get to me.
Oh, a lack of youth?
Yeah, you know, my age. I talk myself out of stuff because I lack in the youthful vibe that everybody has where I want to be. So I let that kind of mess with me. There are others, but let's just stick with those right now. You know, yeah, pretty much.
Wow. That's a big one, Beth. Good for you. Give Beth a round of applause. Because you know what? That's a big one. That's a big one for a lot of people. Say yes if that's a big one for some of you. Yes. Yes, it is a big one for, not a big one, but it's something.
Did anyone raise their hand? I can't see.
That's okay.
I'm curious. Did anyone else raise their hand?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You can't see us? Or
I'm not alone. Well, I can scroll, but I'm looking at you.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. So Beth, let me just ask you this. Was it a surprise when you asked yourself that question, when you came up with that? Was that kind of like, ooh, that's a surprise to you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I knew that it bothered me, but I didn't look at it with the perspective you're asking us to, as a scarcity. Like that is, it put it in a different perspective is my favorite word really right now. And finances, but that's not a surprise. You know, I definitely fall into that category. I think probably most of us do. And like I said, there's others, but those two I think are holding me back the most.
Good for you, Beth. And you know what? I have to say, this is why the work works, everyone. This is why the what?
The work
Works. Because without someone like me telling you to do something, you're probably never going to think about it. Without me going, write it down, you're probably going to be like, la, 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 la. But that's why it's important, everyone. It's important to say, oh my gosh, I have that belief. So this is really important, because how are you going to create if you believe that you're too old? It's not going to happen. You're gonna be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
And we're the same age, and I look at you and you're an inspiration, quite honestly. You really are. But you know, you look good.
Thank you. Thank you. Good, Beth. Thank you for that. All right.
Okay.
And I like how, and I want to say this to you and to everyone here, is that, you know, it's nice to know the obvious ones, to be like, well, of course I believe in a lack of finances. Of course I believe in the lack of compassion in the world, whatever it happens to be. But it's nice when you really turn in, you find some whoa-hos. So, who else would like to share with something that they discovered about themselves, that they believe in lack? I see Jennifer's hand. Go ahead, Jennifer.
No, so where in my life do I believe in lack? I think faith. Where you say, when the question is where in my life do I believe in miracles? I'm like, kind of like, I'm a work in progress. So
raise your hand if you're a work in progress.
Yeah.
We're all work in progress.
Yes.
That directly relates to the second question, doesn't it, Jennifer?
Yes. Well, that's all. It really does. And, you know, that to me, I think is, you know, although the last time I saw you, I think I'm definitely on the right track, because that card, I no longer got the patience and the faith one. I'm now in the harmony stage. So slowly but surely.
That's right. That's right. Good for you, because we are the turtle.
Turtle.
Little by little by little by little. And the more you do it, suddenly you look back and go, oh, you know what? Something's changing, but I'm not sure what it is. Good for you, Jen.
Something has been changing.
Yes, that's right. How do you know something's been changing?
It's kind of like in my face.
Like what?
For example, you know, I'm in real estate. I think, Allison, you're also in real estate, right? And you know, the sharing and creating and everything like that. And you and I, Max, you and I talk about the social media out of the blue. And when miracle comes when you least expect it, and where areas that you will never expect it to happen. So there's someone in my office who is the #2 producer in my office the last year, came up to me and said, I want to partner up with you because I'm good in what I do, but you're good in social media. I think together we'll do really well. I'm like, okay. So, but you know, part of me like, really, do I really want to do that? I don't know if so the doubt comes in, but I just tell it to shut up. But what's amazing is that when you know you're on the right track, when you started doing miracles with your life and you're able to create miracles for someone else, that's just like, okay, now you got my attention. I'm listening to you. What do you want? I surrender, basically.
Very good. Very good. Give it, Jennifer, a big round of applause. That's huge. That's freaking huge. That's huge.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's really great. And that's, listen, it's really important to look at as you're learning and as you're growing, the way you know that you are learning, the way you know is that you see things happening that seem out of the blue. Nothing is out of the blue. Everyone say that. Nothing is out of the blue. Everything is a vibrational match. Everything is what?
A vibrational match.
Vibrational match.
Everything is a vibrational match. As you heal your beliefs, as you heal your predilections towards a certain thing, things start to change. And that's how you know you're healing. So good for you, Jennifer. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good. Let's move on to the second question, which is, where do you believe in miracles? Where in your life do you believe in miracles? Who would like to go first about that?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, Carrie.
Well, back in June, as my daughter graduated from high school, everybody kept on saying to me, what are you going to do as an empty nester? What are you going to do as an empty nester? Because my son was already gone. And I said, it'll be okay. I believe something's going to turn around. Something's going to happen. And I went to lunch one day with my friend, and she informed me that I'd be working for her. She came over with a pile of things for me to work with. And then my other dear friend came and said I was working for him. And I'm busy every single day commuting down the hallway, which in itself is a miracle because I have MS and I'm disabled and I'm busier than all heck. So I believe in miracles and just let it happen.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that? First of all, I'll give Carrie a big round of applause.
Hey, Carrie.
That's awesome.
Now, you know what? It's like, you know what? Just a juxtaposition. First of all, I don't think that you have a total lack of faith, Jennifer. I think you have faith. But, but you know, so Carrie and everybody, look at how you didn't have to, what you didn't have to do is, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my time. And then I'm going to have to apply for a job. And then I have to talk to this person. And then I have to do this. Then I can do that. And then I'm going to compete to try to make sure that my time is taken care of. Did you do any of that, Carrie?
I didn't even seek this.
That's right. That's right.
It just came and it got literally dumped in my lap.
Right.
That feels like out of the blue to me. That feels like the definition of out of the blue. So I'm kind of lost, I'm going to say.
That is not out of the blue. Do you know why that's not out of the blue?
No, I'm totally not getting it.
At the very beginning, she said it was going to be an empty nest and I didn't know what I was going to do, but there was a desire to fill her time. Do you get that?
Yeah, I get
Oh,
that.
without that desire. Okay, gotcha. She manifested
She had the desire to fill her time with something because she knew she was going to be an empty nester. That desire plus the faith
manifested
something for her to create.
Thank you. I'm glad I spoke up. I get it now. Okay.
You get it?
Falling back. Okay.
Yes, good. I want to say this really quickly before we get into the content. This is really important to get, everybody. This is really important to get. Because if you don't, you're going to keep competing and competing against yourself and competing against the world and competing against the rich people and the poor people and the women and the na. And then you're going to just kill yourself. You're not kill yourself, but you're going to stress out and you're going to have a heart attack or you're going to have cancer or you're going to, whatever it happens to be. Who wants that? Not me. No. Right? Okay, one more comment, Jennifer, and then we're going to get to the content.
I really think for me, what really helped for me more than anything is the Course in Miracle.
Yeah.
Because that, when you guys said, you know, trying to take that underlying belief that which really was hard in the beginning. But if you keep going you know, I rely on A Course in Miracle, and I think it really helped. And by the time you let go and just say, you know, I really give up and I give it up to God, that's when it makes such a big difference. Because it comes when you, in places that you won't even, you know, expect.
That's right, because it's not your job. It's not your job. That's right. Thank you for saying that. And as many of you know, I believe in the Course in Miracles with all my heart, with all my being. I believe that it is the way to truly heal yourself. And it's really hard to practice law of attraction or to do this. We're going to, listen, when I do this course starting next Wednesday, we're going to be bringing a lot of law of attraction, a lot of Course in Miracles into this, because it's hard not to. It's hard not to. All right, everyone take a big deep breath. All right. Who's ready for some content? Say me.
Me.
All right. So what I'm going to be working on, I'm just going to kind of scan through this actually, is it's chapter 2. And on this version, it is page 6. It is chapter 2. There is a science of getting rich. I'm going to be pulling some things out of here. But, okay. So the title of today's training is The Fallacies of Those Who Get Rich, right? So all of us have this idea. All of us have this, I would say, archetype in our mind. Iris's is probably a little different than Allison's. Mine's a little different. But there are commonalities about our beliefs about how and who gets rich. Say yes if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? So he addresses that very, very specifically in the book. And I think it's important because once again, we're talking about thoughts and beliefs and breaking those down and changing our perceptions, changing our ideas about certain things. All right, so here we go. I want to just start with the very first. Let me get my. Yeah. So I'm gonna mute you. There you go. Okay, my cute little glasses. Here we go. Okay. All right. There is a science of getting rich. It is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic. Let me just stop there. He's saying that there is a very specific way, and if you nod your head or raise your hand or say yes, if you've ever read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Anyone ever read that? Okay, good. So if you read that book, and there's so many of them, there's some all different versions of that. He's really talking about that, and he's talking about how if you look at people that get rich, there is a commonality. There are things they do, there is things, but we're going to look at the fallacies of our beliefs. So let's move on. The number one thing that he refers to is environment. So let's write that down. The environment. We have a belief about the people that have money are in a certain environment. So he says, getting rich is not a matter of environment. For if it were, all the people in certain neighborhoods would become wealthy. Right? So most of us think, oh, if we lived on the Upper East Side, we're going to get rich. That's the New Yorker in me. If I live in Beverly Hills, I'm going to be rich. If I live, whatever it is, I'm going to be rich. All you have to do is go to the Upper East Side and see that there's not all like filthy millionaires there, right? Okay? So that's the first thing. There's not a perfect little place where people go and just get rich. All the certain people in neighborhoods would become rich. The people of one city would all be rich. Think about, now this is interesting. Think about people that do not live in the United States. A lot of their perception, this is whole generality, but you know what? Our beliefs are based on generalities. Our beliefs are based on what? Generalities. Many people in other countries have the belief that everyone, especially in Beverly Hills, everyone in Beverly Hills is a millionaire. And everyone in the United States is rich on some level, right?
Okay, Angie's needs to be muted.
Okay, I'm muting. Okay, so everybody from other countries looks at us and goes, oh, all those rich people, they're all rich people, right? So he's saying, definitely start to take that out. Just because listen, I'll tell you this. people look at me and they go, oh, you have your own apartment in New York City. You must be really rich. And I'm like, well, I'm okay, but not like what you think. Not like what you think. People that don't, because they think living in New York City costs an arm and a leg. And it does, but I don't believe in those things. And so I have an apartment that I've had for 26 years that I pay almost nothing for. So, so that's another belief, but I don't believe in those things. So I just say, I'll tell you this. When I moved to New York, this is about belief about money, and about rich and about people that have money. When I moved to New York 25 years ago or something, 24 years ago, I think, I was like, I'm going to live in the city, I'm going to live alone, and I'm going to pay under $500 a rent. And that was still a crap load back then. People are like, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. Well, guess what? I ended up getting an apartment for $325 a month. I lived alone in the city. I didn't have to live in Brooklyn. I mean, I got everything that I wanted because I didn't buy into, oh, I've got to be a millionaire to live there, right? So I didn't buy into that. So the environment is big. So we look at people in certain environments. So that's a total fallacy. Total fallacy. That's the first one. There's a few things about that. So while those in other towns would all be poor. So it was, just think about that. It's on the opposite side. Everybody that lives in, that's just the thing that came to my head. Everyone that lives in Tijuana is dirt poor. That's not true. That's not true. But we have this generality, right? We have this generality. The inhabitants of one state would roll in wealth while those in an adjoining state would be in poverty. So that's big. He does start to go deeper into all this stuff. So, and he goes into, but everywhere we see rich and poor living side by side. That's what I love about New York. That's my New York thing. You see all different kinds of people living all together in one place. It's pretty stimulating. It's in the same environment and often engaged in the same vocations. Listen to this. When two men are in the same locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not primarily a matter of environment, right? So look at Jennifer, look at Allison, look at people in the real estate business, right? So it's like in one office, you can be like, wow, that person's really selling a lot of things all the time. The other person hasn't sold anything for 3 years. Why is that? They're still in the same environment. They're around the same people. They're getting probably the same training, but they are different. Make sense, everyone? They're different. So it's just, it's kind of like a friend of mine became an agent with Douglas Elliman, right? Douglas Elliman in New York City is like a big deal. It's like a big deal. The first place that she got placed was Douglas Elliman. She was brand new. She was like, oh my God. And part of her was, and I remember talking to her, part of her was like, oh my God, these are all like the elite creme de la creme, da, 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 da. And this guy just took a liking to her and said, okay, I want you to come work with me. And I said, listen, you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. Everything's fine. Oh my God, within 2 months, she was selling $4 or $5 million homes because she knew she was supposed to be in that environment. Now we're going to talk about that later. But she could have been like, oh God, oh my God. Like some of the people going, compete, compete. And she didn't compete with anyone. She just did her job. She did what? She did her job. She just did her job. Okay, let me unmute you for a second. Okay, so she just did her work. She created. She didn't compete. She just kept creating, doing her work, right? So, okay. I want to make sure the ability to do things, hold on a second, let me just make sure. I want to make sure. Okay. So some environments may be more favorable than others. But when two men, what I just said, the other one fails, it indicates that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. We're not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that later. So environment is the number one thing that we have a fallacy about people. You live in a certain place. You have a certain, your environment, listen, your environment could be, and it goes into this a little bit in a second, your environment could be your family environment. There are people in families that the family is very well off, and that ends up that there's the black sheep of the family that ends up spending all their money and losing it all and whatever. And on the other side, there are people in an environment that for generations they have lived under, really, not going to say poverty-stricken life, but low. And then there's that one or two people that raise above it. Do you know what I'm talking about? So that rags to riches is very, Raymond? Raymond's going, me, I love it.
It's me.
This is what's one of the most important things, everyone, is that we are so inundated with our beliefs about money and about success and about what we deserve from our family. From our what?
Family.
And that goes deep. That really goes deep. So as we look at that, that's one of the reasons why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why is that?
Belief system.
That's what they believe. It's very rare. I'm telling you, it's rare that people jump out into another economic level. Because you know what that person has to do? They have to be disciplined with their beliefs. And you know what? Wallace talks a lot about discipline of your belief. So does the Course in Miracles. You have to be disciplined in your beliefs. You have to see what the belief is, just like Beth so clearly said about that thing about youth. You have to see the belief, and then you have to be disciplined. Capiche? Capiche. Okay. All right. So, does anyone want to say anything before we go to the next one? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay. Number two thing he talks about is talent. One of the biggest fallacies that people have is you have to be talented to be rich. You have to be talented. Studying the people who have got rich, we find that they are an average lot in all respects. A what lot? Average lot in all respects, having no greater talents and abilities than any other men. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess talents and abilities that other men do not. Now, that's really interesting. Think about this, and you look at a lot of people that are very wealthy, that have been successful. There are so many of them that didn't even go to college. A lot of people that are very successful and that are rich, they did it their own way. They did it what?
Their own way.
They did it
Doesn't
their
that fall
own.
under talent so much?
Say again?
Because they didn't go to school and they were successful, how wouldn't that fall under talent of some sort?
It could, but he's trying to get us to really understand that talent can, and he does go into it, Beth. He does go into talent, of course. Of course, talent does help. It helps, but it's not a requirement.
I know some millionaires that didn't even graduate from high school.
That's right. And listen, there are millionaires in the film world who are the worst actors ever. There are millionaires in the financial world that are not very good at finances.
Oh, I have a good example.
What's
Our
the
president
example?
had his own reality show. Our president had his own reality show, and I'm not seeing a lot of talent there. and yet. So,
see that,
or political talent, so there's a good example, I guess.
That is an example. That's an example. And
It's not
so
getting political. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But you can look around anywhere. There are talented people that get rich. That's for sure. But
Sure.
It's interesting. I just a little bit aside here. As a trained actor, and I made my living as an actor for a very long time. And I remember when I really studied. When I went to study, I went to 3-year intensive university whatever. And the first thing that our teacher, and I had been acting for a while at that point, it was college. The first thing the teacher said to us,
thank you.
We all walked in, he sat down, he looked at us, and he knew we're all wanting to be actors in Los Angeles. Only a dime a dozen, 50 million people want to be an actor, right? He looked at us and he goes, this is what I want you to remember. He goes, people work with who they like to work with.
What?
Well, that's good.
Yep.
It's so simple, but it's so true. If there is a choice between hiring or giving the job to someone you like that has as much talent and someone you really don't like and has as much talent, who are you going to give it to?
The one that you like.
The one you like. And or if you have the choice between hiring someone that you like and is like, you know what, they're like 80%, but the other person you really don't want to be around, but they're 100%, who are you going to pick?
80%.
You're going to pick the person that's 80% every time.
That's huge.
Unless sometimes not. But in general, that's the whole thing about talent. It really is true. You can be, there are hundreds of thousands of talented actors that never work. There's hundreds of thousands of talented real estate agents that never sell anything. There's hundreds of thousands of talented artists that don't sell anything. Capiche? So
it's say you're blowing my mind.
Say again?
I just say you're blowing my mind. This is blowing my mind. I'm just saying, this is blowing my mind right here.
Good.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do. We want to blow our minds. What do we want to do?
Blow our minds.
Blow our minds.
Oh, our minds.
We want to blow our minds. Because you know what? When you blow your mind, you reassess and you have to look at everything differently. When you look at things differently, you have different results. You have different what?
Results.
Right? Okay. So, let me just, okay. All right, so number 3. So number 1 is environment, number 2 is talent, number 3 is being thrifty or being good with money. You would think that people that are really good with money get rich. That's not really true. This is what he says. Let me just read it. Nor is getting rich due to doing things with which others fail to do. For two men in the same business often do exactly the same things, and one gets rich while the other remains poor. All these things come back to the conclusion that getting rich is the result of doing things a certain way. So, wait, hold on a second. Where's the thrift part? Hold on.
The next sentence.
Right above it. So getting rich is not a result of saving or thrift. Many and I don't know what this word means. I know it's going to look it up. Does anyone know what this word means? Look it up really quickly. Penurious. I should have looked it up. People are poor. I would say they're probably good with money, whatever. Are poor.
Like misers.
Oh,
Miser.
like misers?
Miser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, miserly. They're poor. While free spenders often get rich. And that's true. Let me talk about that before we go into the other thing that I said. So, you know, there are people that know every strategy. That are like, I know how to have this account and this account and this account and this account, and I do this and this and this, and they're still like, but there's not enough to at the end of the month. I don't know why this is happening. There's a lot of people and the miserly ones, and that's a whole other thing, because you're like hoarding. You're what?
Hoarding. But one thing, Max, is that even I've known personally people that are miserly, like to the degree that they save aluminum foil. It's crazy, but and they end up with a lot of money, but they're poor in spirit because they don't live. They're just existing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they're still poor. That's really good.
That's very true.
Really good. Can I speak to that? Because that's a really good point, Alison. Or
of course.
That was. Because I do. I know a man who would dive like under 3 cars to save ice cubes to put back in his freezer, right? But in the end, when he got old, he didn't use it to live well in the end because he was a miser.
No, they're miserable.
So what's the point, you know, if you're going to, yeah, exactly. So this guy would save tinfoil, like you said, and he did end up with a big bank account, but he never used it.
That's right.
And that's what I don't understand. If you're going to miser it, you might as well use it, but then you're not a miser anymore. Okay, I'm out.
Oh, very good, very good. Because that is usually operating from what?
Fear.
Fear, big time.
Fear. It's operating from fear. It's all operating from fear. It's not operating from flow and joy and ebb and flow. It's not operating from that. It's operating from gotta. And that comes back to competition. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Because if other people have it, then I don't. If I don't have enough under my bed, then something's wrong, right? And that comes back to what Jennifer is saying about faith. And what Carrie says about faith. It's like, you know what? If you, I think we talked about this, I forget. I talk so much I don't even know. But I was saying, if you're depending on the circumstances to create your belief, you're screwed. Because your belief is creating the circumstance. So it's the very, very, very interesting when you think about the saving. And you, listen, I know people that are really, like I said, I'm going to tell you, there's a couple people that you all know that are very, very wealthy. And I'm telling you, there's some of them, it's a burden to them. We were talking about that last week, Raymond, and the other night. But some of them, I'm telling you, are free as a bird. And they spend, and it's all good. And they're like, hey, I'll buy you dinner. I'm gonna take you on this trip. Here's this. Oh, da, 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 da. They're really like free with their money. They're very content with who they are. It's coming and it's going and it's flowing. And they're all like, ah. And that's the opposite of what Allison was just talking about. Mm-hmm. Completely opposite. Now, all of us need to look at that and reflect, where are we free with the money? If you've got $500 in your savings account, if you only have $500 in your savings account, are you free with it? Or are you going, oh God, oh shit, oh God, I gotta get 600, then I'm gonna get 1,000, then I'm gonna get 2,000, and then I'm gonna, oh God. Say yes if you relate to what I just did.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. On some level, might not be that. Remember, and if you never heard me say this before, then we're gonna wrap up really quickly. The vibration of desperation blocks manifestation. Write that down. Write that down. The vibration of desperation blocks manifestation. The reason that Carrie attracted money and work coming to her is that she wasn't desperate. She was just like, I'd like to do something. Okay, bam. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Can you repeat it, Max?
Say again?
Can you repeat it, please?
Oh, sure. The vibration of desperation blocks manifestation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That's me. You can like put a little Max Ryan. One of my favorite things I've ever come up with.
Awesome quote.
So, and it's true. And if you listen, if you're worrying that the job isn't coming, that the career isn't coming, that the girl isn't coming, that the what isn't coming, all you have to do is turn inside and go, do I have desperation? And almost every time you'll go, uh-huh. Yes, I do. That's why you need to forget about it and go do something else, and then it'll come. Capiche?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the person that you chase around just runs from you.
Who here?
Chasing them.
That's right. Who here has ever seen one of my favorite movies of all time, Under the Tuscan Sun?
My favorite.
I did.
And if you haven't seen it, and you're working with me, you need to watch that movie. So in that movie, Diane Lane character is like, oh, I gotta get the guy, and I gotta come in, I gotta call him, and is he going there? And he's and her friend, who's like the sage woman, she's like, go work on your house and forget about it. So what does she do? She forgets about it. She works on the house. She jumps in full force. And then what happens by the end of the movie? A guy literally walks right into her yard. It's like, that's how it works.
Her ladybug analogy was my favorite.
The ladybug is the best. The ladybug is the best. When I was a child, I used to crawl around and look for ladybugs all the time until I got so tired that I would fall asleep right in the garden. and I'd wake up and there's ladybugs all over me.
Wow.
That is, I'm telling you, you need to remember that for everything in your life. It's so clear and it's so simple. And this is, that is living what he refers to, that is living in a certain way. That's living and doing in a certain way, what he talks about here. I'm gonna read this last thing and then we're gonna wrap up. So the other thing is, and I do wanna say this again, because a lot of times you go to people about, you know, you read all the books about getting rich and about that, and but you really want to be successful. One of the first things they do is they say the exact opposite of what he says here. He says, nor is getting rich due to doing things which others fail to do. What do almost all money gurus say? You want to be successful.
I will do what other people won't do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can do what they can't do later or something like that.
Yeah. So you need to do what other people won't do. And he's right here saying, that's not even the truth. That's not even the truth. And that's important. It's important because I know a lot of money gurus. You know what? You know who says this a lot? Anyone that's ever been in a network marketing company, they shove this down your throat.
Yes, sir.
Shove it down your throat. They go, if you really want to have a big downline of your business, you do everything that other people won't do. You show up and you da 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 da. You're like, wow, I don't even want to do it anymore.
Right.
Right?
It's all about doing and not being.
That's right. Good, Allison. That's right. Certain Way has much more to be to do. And when I do the class, we're going to talk all about that because one of the big things he talks about in the book is action. Okay. All right. We're going to, I just want to, let's see. That's it. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. I could go on and on and on, but let's everyone take a big deep breath. Okay. I want to hear from 3 people about what these 3 things about talent, about environment, about savings, about doing what other people do. Has anyone got an aha or a confirmation for themselves? Anyone want to just say something?
Well, I just started with a new broker today, and this just totally blasted me because I had those very thoughts. Oh my God, there's some big people in this office. Lord, exactly what you just were describing earlier. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even catch myself. I mean, I did, but I didn't really, I was busy with other stuff, paperwork, and I didn't really allow myself to dwell on it until you brought it up just this evening. And wow. Yeah, I'm there for a reason. There's no accident. I'm there, and I'm excited about it now. It really is going to be much better.
Very good, Alice. There's a reason why you were there. That's right. Not to be like, to put you right in competitive mode. That's not the reason. Thank you, Allison. Very good. Very good. Raymond, did you say you wanted to say something? I'll unmute you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I would say that I've done like a great deal of work in my life, like tons and tons of work for other people, for myself. Lots of, I would say, nights when I could have been doing something else or been having more fun, I was working. Mm-hmm. So the idea of like working more, or a lot of the research that I've been doing during this period, trying to get through this, kind of makes me feel worn out because it always seems to make me feel like I have to do more and more and more work.
Uh-huh.
I feel very tired by the concept of learning more, being more, doing more. So, this must be done differently, that must be done differently. Yeah. These things,
mm-hmm.
They weigh heavy on my mind.
Who can relate to Raymond?
Yes.
Yeah.
You start going to the self-help, you start reading all this stuff and everything, and there is a place for action, but everything is based on action in so much of that stuff. Like what you said, it's not based on the beingness. The beingness is first. Being is first, doing is second. Everyone repeat after me. Being is first.
Being is first.
Being is first.
Doing is second.
Doing is second.
Right. So Raymond, what it does, and everybody from A Course in Miracles point of view, and he doesn't talk about it here, but what it does is it engages the ego. That engages the ego. The ego wants to compete. The ego wants to make you feel like shit. The ego makes you want to feel like, if I could just get the golden key, everything will work out. That is wrong. Because you already have the golden key, and if you realize you already have the golden key, you don't have to work so hard. You just do what you love. Take a deep breath, everyone. I can feel some of you like, that's bullshit.
He's a funny guy.
And listen, thank you. I'm going to bring you to all my gigs, dude. Okay. So listen, it's true. It's true. Most people go, well, that's nice. And you, listen, you go read the reviews of this book and you will see the people that go, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know why? Because they've never done really the work to get that, to know this is true. This stuff is true.
It is true.
All right, everyone. Okay. Good job, everyone. I'm going to go around and just ask everyone kind of what they got out of today, and then I'm going to talk to you quickly about the class that we're starting on Wednesday. So let's go around and I didn't even look. Thank you so much. I want to look at the comments. Human beings. That's right, Sarah. We're human beings, not human doings. That's right. Beth, there's no homework right now, but you need to hang out. This class has already pretty much changed your life. Well, good for you. Good for you. Thank you. Marguerite says, I've been studying the course on my own, and definitely is awesome to have a group. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I always believe in that. Thank you, Marguerite. All right, everyone. We're going to go around and just give me one word about looking at these fallacies about being rich that makes you go, oh, I'll give you my word. My word about looking at all these fallacies of people get rich is, my word is bullshit. My word.
You took my word.
So, you know, it's right to the point. It's like that says it to me because I'm reading them. It's like, look, because it's all bullshit. That's not true. It's all not true. Right? Okay. Marguerite, do you have a word? Do you want to type it in or? I know you're using the chat there. I go with my intuition. So, okay, let's see. Don't anyone leave because I want to talk about the course before we're done here. I mean, the Science of Getting Rich course. Okay, you type that in and I'll wait for you. Okay. Oh, is ACIM your word? Okay. Course in Miracles. Thank you so much. Great to see you, Marguerite. Okay, everyone stay here. Don't leave yet. Jennifer, what's your word for today?
Oh, shit. That was my word.
What?
Oh, shit. That was my word.
Good. Very good. I love it. Iris, what's your word? Oh, I can't hear you.
Vibration.
Vibration. Thank you. Very good. Carrie, what's your word?
Well, I also was going to say bullshit, but now I'll just say fucked up.
Talk about law of attraction. We're all like on the same page here. I love it. Very good. Chris, do you want to write it or do you want to? Okay. Chris, do you want to unmute yourself? Or can you talk? Okay. Okay.
Sorry, it's going crazy. I have a cold.
That's okay, I know.
Mine was crap because I believed in all that crap before, and when I would let it go, then good things would happen. I would see the miracles, and then I would go, my ego would go, blah, and so crap because I believed in it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris. So we have bullshit, oh shit, fuck, and crap. All right. Great. I love it.
Linguist.
This way. Allison, what's your word?
It's supposed to be about fallacies, right? What we think of them.
Just what you took away from today, just from all of this stuff that we've done. What's your?
This is silly, but ladybugs.
No, it's not silly at all. That stood out for you.
All of this reminded me of. I used to think that's true for everybody else but me. But the ladybugs are the vibration I want to be in, so that's what I'm going to focus on.
Love it. Very good. Thank you, Allison. Raymond, what's your word?
Relief.
One of my favorite words. One of my favorite words.
Yeah.
You know my other quote that I say? Relief is the vibration of God.
Oh, nice.
If you always go for the feeling of relief, you're going to be in constant contact with God. I'm not talking about relief like, oh, thank God I didn't have to do that. I'm talking about that freedom relief. Thank you, Raymond. Great word. Stacy, what's your word?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. Okay. Do you want to describe that, or do you want to just leave it out there?
Yeah, I'll describe it. So the fallacies, the myths that you're talking about, even my belief that I'm letting go of about money changes you. Money doesn't have to change you if you don't let it.
Good.
Right?
Yep. Thank you. Good to see you, Stace. All right. Kendra, what's your word?
Problem.
Problem. Okay. Do you want to describe that at all, or just leave it out there?
Well, it was kind of like when you talked about people like to work with people that they like to work with. And it's clear that by the way that my boss is behaving, she doesn't really like to work with me. So does that mean I'm the problem?
Oh, interesting. You turn it around and say, do you really want to work with her?
Well, right now I have to, so until another avenue or something else opens up.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to start working on opening up another avenue. Right?
Yeah.
And you're not trapped. You're not what?
You're not trapped.
Trapped. It feels like it sometimes, but just open it up and go, you know what? If she doesn't want to work with me, I don't really feel great working with her, so there's something better for you out there.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Kendra. I'm glad that it brought up. So, listen, the work sometimes brings up the shit. Speaking of shit, it brings up the shit, so you have to look at it. That's the way you heal. Good, Kendra. Thank you. Jennifer, what's your word?
Conflicted.
What is it?
Conflicted.
Conflicted. Do you want to say anything about that, or just put it out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, everything he's saying is in contradiction to everything I used in the past as motivators, like competitiveness and the nature of that. And so for me, you know, and even the nature of environment. I mean, like growing up in the Midwest and then living in Connecticut now, which is like infamous for being, I mean, Jennifer, you know, infamous for being seen as wealthy and affluent and riches and things. It's all of these different beliefs that he's laying in front of us as in conflict with what I've been taught and ingrained in my brain and in my, you know, my genetic coding for my whole life. So it's reteaching myself, I guess.
Yeah. Well, listen, here's the deal. If something works, keep doing it. If something doesn't work, if you feel good and it's working, you know what? Just keep doing it.
Oh, but that's the thing is I think sometimes I don't. Like sometimes the competitive thing is almost, what kept popping in my head was like someone who gambles and they feel a high and then they immediately feel like crap.
What was that?
Like I'll feel like that. I'll be motivated by this competitive nature and then 2 seconds later feel like, oh, you know, all right, well that sensation, that good feeling's gone. So, you know, something needs to change.
That's right. That's right. Good. That's good insight. That's good introspection. And he says that last week. We talked about that, right? He's like, if you win something competitive, it feels good, and then it goes away.
Right.
If you win something, if you get rich because of these certain ways, it's who you are, and it just feels free. Doesn't feel like, I won. Thank God, I won. You're like, okay, so I won now. Now, next. That's not what we're looking at. So, good. Thank you, Jennifer. Very good. Callie, what is your word for today?
Refinement. Refinement of perspectives.
I like that. I like that. It's pretty self-explanatory. All this work makes you keep discerning and refinement of how you're looking at things, right? Good. Thank you. Nice glasses. I love those blue blockers. All right. Beth is still here, but she said, what was her word? Word is worthy. Okay. Unless you want to say anything. Okay. Sarah, did you want to?
Here I am. I'm here. Okay.
Oh, you want to say your word?
I realized, yeah, it's worthy. I feel, more worthy now than before to have everything that I want. I'm not throwing out all the reasons why, but I'm not good with money, or maybe someone else is more talented. You just blew that right on out of the water. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for being here, Beth. Good. I love it. All right, let's move on. Sarah, do you want to say something? Oh, she says, right there, I says, be is my word. I'm in the process of truly letting myself be. Very nice. Very nice, Sarah. Got it. I see Angie there. Angie, did you want to say something? Or?
Ladybug.
Ladybug?
Yeah.
That's your word too?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, first of all, everyone give yourself a round of applause. Good job opening up and processing and all that stuff. So let me just tell you this before we go. As I said on Monday, I started working with this book a long time ago, and then through Money May, I got more into it with teaching some of it or sharing some of it. And then surfing through summer, we really got into it a little bit more. And then from then till now, it's been in the back of my head going, there's so many good things in this book. You could literally have a book club about this book that meets every week about this. But what I decided to do is I've broken it down. I've broken down the questions into exercises into 4 weeks of working on the principles of this book. So I'm inviting you, if you would like to join us, it starts next Wednesday. Now, I'm going to tell you how it's going to work because I'm kind of combining it this year. Does everyone know about Rocktober?
No.
Okay. So Rocktober is what I did a couple years ago on Periscope. So Rocktober is every single day I'm teaching little bits about the law of attraction, and it's also combined with rock and roll music. Because rock and roll music is a high vibe. It's what? It's a high vibe. So we talk about vibes all the time. So every day in Monday through Friday on Periscope, and I'm going to do it on Facebook Live also this year, I'm going to be teaching you all these different tools and strategies. I almost said stools. Tools and strategies. I'm not even going to go there. Tools and strategies to really apply law of attraction into your life. And these are things that some of you might know, some of you might not know, some of you have gone through it over again. But every day, it'll be like the group will be Led Zeppelin, and then we're going to talk about negative words, and the group will be Journey, and we're going to talk about whatever it happens to be. So I'm kind of combining that. So I've got 3 different levels of Rocktober. You can just, and I'm going to pull something up in a second. So this class, the Science of Getting Rich study course, is kind of combined with one of the levels. Let me just pull something up, and I'm going to show it to you really quickly. Oh, I just made a video, and I wish I could show it to you. I don't have it up there. Darn it. Let me just pull this up. Where is, hold on, here. Let's see. Oh. Tell me when you see this. Say yes when you see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is October, and I'm going to tell you about the class in just a second. Is that chat? Okay. this particular intimate class continue? I'll talk about that in a second, okay? So this Rocktober, Law of Attraction training, all October, live on Periscope and Facebook. So you can read all through this because I'm going to send you an email. So it talks all about energy and the passion of rock and roll music and law of attraction. And really, if you want to really work on your law of attraction, finances, relationships, health, adventure, and get clear about anything, manifest what you want, that's all the things we're going to talk about in Rocktober, okay? So let me move on through here. So during Rocktober, oh, somebody just wrote all over. I love it. Thank you. Someone's got their pen going. That's okay. During October, you're going to learn all about all this law of attraction. Now, let me just tell you how it's going to work. It's on Periscope and Facebook, 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be about half an hour, 45 minutes each time. Here, you can read about more. Here are some of my favorites. Here's my favorite. Who's my favorite? Who's my favorite?
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. I'm not going to play it for you right now, but we could. So these are just some of my rock influences, and I love rock and roll music. So there's 3 ways to participate in Rocktober. So level 1 is you just show up, and it's free. So on my Facebook page or on Periscope, right? So I'm decided to do it on my Facebook business page, not Love and Action.
Take requests.
You can just watch that, and then, excuse me?
You take requests.
I pretty much decide each day is one band. So
Lincoln Park, just saying.
So yeah, we can start making a list of all the things that you want to hear, which will be lovely.
Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park. I love it. Okay, so level 2. Now level 2 is all of those free the free scopes, which don't cost you anything, but if you will get 15 full-length videos, and these are all the videos that I have made from the Rocktober of a couple years ago. There's 15, it's 12 hours of trainings. I don't sell these. I've never sold them. I mean, I've given away some at some point to some people, but I don't really sell these as a product. So it covers 15 law of attraction strategies. You can't just get this, come buy it. It's $125 basically. Now, you will also get my full Law of Attraction training, Attract Positive Results 2.0. This is my full Law of Attraction training. A lot of people get it, have gotten it. It is a video training. So there's over 11 hours of video training on how to do the attraction principles, and over 4 hours of audio training. And you also get these other extended audios that are about segment intending and telling a new story. So this is a lot of stuff. This is basically would be 147. That's level 2. Now we're getting to the class. I'll tell you really quickly. If you do level 2, you'll also, I'm working on Attract Positive Results 3.0, which I'm going to put, and then we're going to do it live at the beginning of January for 5 weeks as a live class in January, so you can start the whole year off attracting, working with Law of Attraction. If you do level 2, then you get 50% off of that. 50% off of that. So altogether, it would be $384, but for you, it's $50.
What?
$50. Okay?
Oh my God.
Come on.
Come on. So it's only $50. That's level 2. Okay? Now, level 3 is where the course comes in. So in level 3, you get everything I just told you. Everything I just told you. And in level 3, you will be enrolled in the Science of Getting Rich class. I'm not going to read all this. So that's 4 weeks starting next Wednesday. You'll get all those videos. You'll get to watch everything. That's all included. You get to be in the class. Then it's on Zoom. They're going to be 90-minute classes. So that starts October 3rd. It's the 10th, 17th, and 24th. These same times, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hold on, Beth. I'll get to you in just 1 second, okay, sweetie? So that would be, if I did this would be $125 to do that class. Now, If you're in level 3, you also get a huge discount on my personal coaching. My personal coaching has been the same rate for 3 years. I haven't changed my rates. In January, it's going up. And some people personal coach with me. Say yes if you personal coach with me. Jennifer has, Carrie has, Iris has. So if you want personal coaching, it's 25% off all my coaching options. My platinum program, my premium, my power, we'll talk more about that, and my minutes. So that's 25% off all of that. If you're new to coaching, then let me know and I'll try to, we'll make a positive result strategy session. And this could save you a crap load of money, and not to mention when my prices go up in January. Okay, so that's now. If you, and both of these, so if you, in level 2, it's the same thing. If you've already taken my live or the Attract Positive Results video course, you will be put in for free into the live training in January. This is level 3 only, level 3. So all of that together would be $1,172, but it's only $250. Now, you can pay it 1 payment, 2 payments, or 3 payments. So that's everything. You get all of that and the class and the coaching stuff. And we're going to send you an email tonight. You're going to get an email you can look through all of it. Now, let me look at this chat really quickly. Ever consider a monthly auto draft the way? Marguerite, wait a second. I needed to be here tonight in so many levels. You're welcome. Beth, we have the payment plan. We have the payment plan. So I've tried to make it as easy for everyone as possible, so you don't have to come up. There's 2 installments and 3 installments. So that's what I tried to come up. I've actually tried to do that with classes before, where I stretched it out over a long period of time. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's all I have to say. It doesn't work. So that's that. Hold on, and I'm going to open it up to the chat. Oh, that's right. Thank you, my friend. It's October 4th. It's October 4th. Wait. We're on Tuesday nights, right? No, we're on Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights. You're on Wednesday nights. You're right. Thank you so much. So I guess I need someone to double check all my stuff for me. So don't worry about it. Okay, I'll look at this and then I'm going to open it up. In the 3rd, could I still take advantage of this? Okay, this is what's going to happen, and I'll tell you this. Pay on the 3rd, Marguerite. Is that what you're saying? On the 3rd? And I'll keep that open, but I'm going to stop the share right now so we can open this up. Okay, hi, we're back, and we're back. Okay, so Marguerite, I don't know what you mean right there. So you mean pay on the 3rd? So this is one thing. The class and level 3, there's only 25 people I'm going to let in. That's it. Just 25 people. Now, all of you and everyone that's not watching, you all get first dibs, because when I said I want to work with people that I love, I want to work with you first. So there's only 25 people that I'm going to take to do level 3, right? It's only 25 people. And then, so that is until on Friday, I'm going to let everyone in Love in Action know. I'm going to announce it on Periscope. I'm going to announce it to my, few thousand people on my email list, and I'm sure it's going to fill up. So I'm just letting you know that you have first dibs to join us. If you'd like to join us, I would love you to. I would love you to. Okay? Any questions about it?
Is there a way to have a conversation with you?
Beth?
I was wondering, is there a way we can have a conversation, but not to, bother everybody else about exactly how much that is and how it works?
Send me an email, Beth.
Oh, okay.
And we'll figure it out. Send me an email.
Are
you leaving, Stacey?
I gotta run. I got a client. Love you.
Okay, love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, if you have something that you need, just email me if it's too complicated. I'll ask. Allison asks can I set a time to chat about coaching? Yes, for sure. For sure. Just contact me, Allison, and we'll talk.
Would you mind telling me what the payments are, what that breaks down to?
Oh, you want to see it? Yeah, I had it up there. Hold on. I'll just show it.
Oh, I can't. I'm not looking. I'm sorry. I can't see my phone at the moment.
Oh,
you're emailing it, aren't you?
That's right. I'm emailing it all right after this tonight. You'll get an email.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
Sure. Any other questions?
It's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
I feel honored. I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored that all of you even listen to anything that flies out of my freaking mouth. So,
because you're cute.
I'm honored that anyone listens to me. So.
Just because you're cute. You're just so cute.
Really uncalled for. That's just wrong. Talk like that.
But I'm telling you, I love your freaking words. But I'm telling you, in all real humbleness, it's like there's times I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'm really good at what I do. I really help people to change their lives. I'm good at it. But then there are other times I'm like, wow, they're listening. How interesting. So.
Well, it's funny how people listen that you don't even know are listening. I had somebody comment to me from Monday's class that they so resonated with something I said. And I'm like you, me? Wait, what?
See? Yep. That's right. Someone's always listening. All right.
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's all take a big, deep breath.
Okay.
Let's close our eyes for just 1 second. Let's connect right back into our heart. And I want you in this moment in your heart to just connect with the vibration of appreciation. Feel the vibration of appreciation in your heart right now. Appreciation for your fellow students. Appreciation for me. Appreciation for the material. Appreciation for the communication that we're able to have, this amazing miracle. Appreciation for life itself. Take a big, deep breath. And together we say, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Like I said before, you're going to get an email, and I will, either myself or Carrie will be posting in the groups to let everyone know that it's all open. And it's only going to be open to you all until tonight and all day tomorrow. And on Friday afternoon, it's going to be open to everybody. So, but you'll get the email about all that. If you have any questions at all, just email us back or message us on Facebook and we'll get back to you. Okay?
Good night, Max. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Love you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.